Hey guys, it's Stephanie.
I'm Trey.
This is your weekly dose of BS.
It's nice to have you back in the country.
I know, it really is. And I leave again at the end of the month for a cruise on this, actually, I'm super excited. It's like a high-end cruise line called Crystal Cruises. It's kind of up there with Regent, if you know what that is, which I've never gone, but Travis has. He said it's amazing.
It's like the Titanic of cruises, minus the sinking part.
I think it's awesome because it's also it's like a smaller group. So it's not the masses.
That's nice.
Which is kind of
only,
nice. Yes, yeah. So it's going to be
a huge difference.
Big difference. And it's a good, I was telling Trey where we're going, and the places we're going are actually kind of exciting. So I'm excited. Yep. Cannot wait. I've been to Monte Carlo before. I'm trying to think of where all we're going. We're going to Barcelona, a ton of places. So it'll be a lot of
amazing destinations.
It'll be a lot of fun. But you're
just not stopping.
I know. We just got back from Whitefish a few days ago. And I can tell that my kids haven't seen their friends because they are nonstop having their friends over. I thought they spent the night before yesterday. And then I was like, I'm going to get rid of all these kids today. And then I kid you not, I am in my little, oh my gosh, I'm in my little exercise room working out, come out. Chance has 3 more friends over. He did not even ask me. I'm like, this is not a hotel.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah.
You looked so good today, by the way. Will you stand up and give the people on YouTube a twirl?
Yes, here it is.
She is wearing a jumpsuit,
yes,
and her hair is curled. She got in the car. I was like, what is going on? She was like, no. I slept in this, and this is comfortable. I was I'm so impressed.
It's the most comfortable jumpsuit. I curled my hair yesterday to do something, and I'm not joking. I woke up, I didn't even brush it. Well, if you're watching this, I have not brushed my hair. I just slapped some makeup on, and I was like, you know what? Thank you, Lord.
She's like, not to be fooled. I did not put effort in.
No, I put zero effort. I literally watched 5 minutes of Atlanta that Trey told me to watch, and then put some makeup on, and that is it. I'm still okay. Well, first of all, I have something to complain about because I was so happy during my Whitefish trip because I got a message that they had found my luggage, right? If you guys don't know, American Airlines, British Airway, and Brussels Air, I blame all 3 of them. I cannot just pick one at the moment. Lost my luggage. Yep. We went from American we were supposed to be on British whenever we landed in London. We got off the plane. We had an hour and 45 minutes to go on that next flight.
That's a long time.
So we get off. They hand Travis and either it has a little table. It says get your ticket here. So we walk over there. They hand Travis and I new tickets on Brussels Airway, which we never bought. So and there were 6 or 7 of us that they did that. Well, all 6 or 7 of us were in the line in Brussels because none of us got our luggage. So now my luggage is missing. Somebody called, said they found it. They described it to Travis. And then now they're saying they don't know where it is.
They opened it and said, I'm going to keep this one.
I think they did. Unfortunately, I told them what was in it. I think that was my first mistake.
Gosh. What do you mean you told them what was in it?
Because they have to identify it. So they were like, what do you have in there? And I thought I would tell them my most expensive things thinking they would want to give it back. I was like, well, I have a pair of Louis Vuitton tennis shoes and I have a pair of Louis Vuitton pants. I have all of these. First of all, a big, the Lord taught me a lesson. And even when I went to Whitefish, Travis was like, what are you doing? They're not going to lose your bag. I'm like, no, I'm forever scarred. Everything that I was like, if I am going to be mad that I lose something, it is going in my tote. So I literally had half of my luggage my tote was overflowing with clothes.
And you're just in your purse.
Yes, in my purse because now I'm terrified that they're going to lose it. So yesterday I had to sit at home and fill out a form of everything that I have. You have to have, this is the thing. You better buy all your clothes online if you lose your bag. It's now been 3 weeks. Now I don't know if they're ever going to find it. I have stuff in there that I really, really loved. Can everything be replaced? Yes. But am I positive they're going to give me all the money back to replace it? No, I don't know what's going on.
Leggings be broken the same way? Nope.
You know what I'm so mad about? And I told Travis I was working out yesterday. I'm like, my 2 favorite Lululemon leggings were in there. My favorite hanky panky panties were in there.
Well,
the little things also really drive me crazy.
That's
my
a little
makeup.
bit of a blessing because there was one pair of Lulu leggings that had a little hole in them, but you just kept wearing them because they were so comfy.
Oh, well, no, I still have those. I still have those. Did not make the trip. Those did not make the trip. I still have those, unfortunately. But so I had to write down everything that was in the bag yesterday. Like,
was there anything like embarrassing in there?
Well, I mean, if it was, I wouldn't write it down. I mean, I'm just so they know like the monetary value, and also because if they don't find it, we're gonna have to come to an agreement.
Mm-hmm.
And what's crazy is you have to have the date you purchased and the receipt if it's over $100. So I buy all my stuff online, thankfully. So since I do, I could find all my receipts online because I kind of shop at the same 5 places. But if not, people are screwed. Like, people are screwed.
There are 2 different locations in the U.S. where they sell lost luggage.
Oh, I know. I did a deep dive, and it's so stressful. I think one of them's in Arizona.
Yes. There's one in Arizona. There's one in like Utah or something weird. And there's this girl on YouTube that will buy luggage. And sometimes she really scores. Like, she'll go through it and she'll find
her
like
YouTube account.
Jimmy Choo's and Louis Vuitton. Like, she does well sometimes.
Well, if she finds mine, I'm going to message her and be like, give me my stuff back. Like, no.
Jackpot.
Oh my gosh. So we'll see. We have now I did not realize this, but after I think it's like 15 or 20 days, you are assigned a specialist for your luggage. So now we have a specialist. But it was, what's kind of crappy was all the airlines were pointing fingers at each other. So there was a good 6 or 7 days where we got nothing accomplished because they were all like, not my fault, not my problem, not my fault, not my problem. And I'm like, it's all your problems.
The first
48
Give me my bags.
Important. Yes. Well, they say after 30 days, there's a 50% chance that you will not get your bag back. And I'm quickly approaching that. So I'm at 9 days. It'll be 30 days.
And so is that when they call it just like a total loss?
I don't know when they call it a total loss, but I'm hoping they dig deep down inside and find my bag.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I'll let you know next week I feel like next week we will know for sure. And then I will give you guys all the details on what happens if they lose your bag with a ton of, with a lot of stuff inside, a lot of valuables, and what they pay you for that. That's what I'm most interested in.
I'm excited for that part.
Are they going to try to give me $1,500 for my very expensive loss, or because my luggage alone my bag alone was $1,500.
What
that
do we
think
bag. The value of the stuff in that suitcase was?
About $14,000. Yes, I added it all up yesterday.
So where were you stuck without clothes? Brussels?
Yes. Yeah.
So what'd you do?
I bought stuff. So whenever they lose your bag, you can go shopping. Every airline is different, so look that up. Keep receipts, but they do have to reimburse you for the things that you buy.
Oh.
That's why I bought a pair of Louis Vuitton sunglasses and a pair of Louis Vuitton sandals because I feel like they owed me at that point.
They do.
Yeah.
They do.
But everything else I bought was honestly like Zara because it wasn't like a big shopping area.
Yeah.
But yeah,
That's
so they do have to reimburse you for that. And then also I do know if you buy with certain credit cards, if you buy your ticket with certain credit cards, they also reimburse you if they lose your luggage.
That's why I always book all my travel with American Express.
Yes, American Express does, I think, up to $3,000. Yeah. So the more you know, you're welcome, people.
The more you know, the more you receive back.
Yes. But I will say I have so many friends traveling, and if you have a connecting flight, especially outside the U.S., just anything that you care about, do not put on your main bag. Because I have so many people that I know whose bags are coming up missing.
Yeah.
Because the airlines are just all over the place lately.
Ooh, it's going to be a good month for that girl on YouTube, though.
Oh, yeah. I hate her already. I hate her already. If I were her, I would go to those places. I would just look for the nicest luggage, right?
Yeah.
Like if somebody had, what the nice bags are, right?
Yep.
If there's a Tumi laying there, I would buy it.
Yeah.
Just because you probably know that that's expensive, you can kind of tell the good bags. But yes, so I'm going on this next trip and I'm ready. I'm taking my Apple tag off my dogs and putting it in my bag. I'd rather.
Okay, Zach has put that on all of our suitcases. We have an air tag.
Yes.
Because he wants to know where our stuff is.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'll probably have to drive to that YouTube girl's house. I'm sure it's there. Yeah. I'll be like, I need my stuff. So, yes, that's my update on my luggage. I'm so depressed. Okay, so Trey earlier was talking about how good I looked when he picked me up, which I concur. I do think I look really amazing. My hair, by the way, is so good lately that I'm not joking. I woke up this morning and I was like, it was good to go. I have not brushed my hair. Now, most people would not brag about that, but I am because my hair was not always like that. I used to have to wake up and run like a heat iron through it and everything else just to make it look big and
Well, your
fabulous.
hair looks a lot thicker. Do you have extensions in?
No, it is so much thicker. I'm telling you, I have been using Neutriful for over a year. I will say Neutriful takes about 3 months to really start seeing results.
You've got to be consistent with it. But when you are, man, it works.
Exactly. But after 3 months, it makes such a difference. For me, I would take a shower and I would just have like hair in the drain, like tons of hair. And now I have so much less shedding. My hair is visibly thicker, visibly fuller. It looks visibly healthier.
You know, Neutriful also has a new vegan formula for women ages 18 and up with a plant-based lifestyle who are experiencing signs of hair thinning.
There are many reasons for people to have thinning hair. And for me, it's something that is genetic. My mom and my grandma, both, the older they got, the thinner their hair was. Their hair quality just wasn't as good. So I have both of them on it. I'm like, you guys, I'm telling you, give it 3 months and it'll like change your life, change your hair.
Neutriful's women's vegan formula targets key root causes of thinning in women, such as stress, nutrition, and metabolism.
Take the first step to visibly thicker, healthier hair. For a limited time, Neutriful is offering our listeners $10 off of your first month subscription and free shipping when you go to Neutriful.com and enter the promo code WeeklyDose. Find out why over 4,000 healthcare professionals recommend Neutriful for healthier hair. Neutriful.com is spelled Nutrafol.com, promo code WeeklyDose. Again, that's Neutriful.com, promo code WeeklyDose.
All right, tell me your thoughts on Kim Zolciak canceling her divorce.
Okay, well, I'm torn. First of all, I think that I think the divorce was mainly caused by the financial stuff going on in their life, and they probably started fighting a lot. Because here's the deal. I always feel like they were very attracted to each other, right?
Yeah.
And they got along. And I don't know. On the show's always different than in real life. Like if you have a camera on you, you're going to act a little different, right? Like you're probably not going to be as mean to your spouse.
Yeah, but they were basically boning each other on camera. Like they were all over each other.
But they've always seemed to be like very all about each other. So, but I think for them to work out, they've got to figure out how to be financially responsible, because you have to have somebody in that relationship who is the responsible one. I don't know if either of them are. I do think Kroy is very low maintenance, but I think Kim's the alpha in the relationship.
Totally.
So she's going to have to like stop gambling.
But why do you think they called off the divorce? Do you think the divorce the whole time was
I think it could be
to build some publicity to make some money?
I don't think that. I don't think they did it for publicity reasons. I think they did it because they were in over their eyes and debt, and they were fighting a lot, and they were like, I'm out. And they were probably putting the blame probably more so on her than him, but I bet you he got really, really mad at her whenever they started losing everything, from what I'm reading, because it said like that he put some paper out there that she was gambling a lot and spending like shopping a lot. So I think it was all the stress.
It was never good intel that they gave. Kim was like, he's an unfit father. He smokes weed.
But I don't think that. I think it was probably more him pushing the divorce than her in the beginning, because I think he was probably furious that they were losing their house. And I don't know. I mean, I do think finances are a big stressor in a marriage. If you have money or if you don't have money, I think that's the number one thing people fight about. Even Travis and I now, we fight about finances. Like I make my own money, right? Like everything that you see me wear, unless it's Christmas or my birthday, I pay for. But Travis will still get
lost at sea.
Everything lost at sea. That's what I told Travis, because he's like, "You're fine." I'm like, "No, you don't understand. I don't make as much money as you. Like that's a lot of work I had to do. Like like you have a better, like you have like a really steady income. I really don't. Like I don't have a show anymore. Like I have to hustle to make my money. This is a lot
You hear that, American Airlines?
Yes.
She is coming for you.
I'm coming for you. I'm so mad. But for Travis, I think it would be different. But even me, like I will get a package in the mail from like, I don't know, a clothing store, like Forward, for example. And Travis will get so annoyed at me because he's like, a fool and her money will soon be separated. But I'm like, this fool pays for it. Like you didn't pay for it. But we still like bicker over finances. Yeah, right? Like
I also read that they really can't financially afford the legal battle right now.
Well, getting a divorce is expensive. You both want your own attorneys. I don't know. I think that's probably part of it as well. Also, have you ever broken up with someone and then you're like fully committed on the breakup and then like you get away from them for a while and you kind of start missing them and you're like, maybe the grass isn't always greener. Maybe I don't want them to date anybody else.
No.
Like I don't want to be with them, but I also don't want them to be happy. You've never been like that?
We should dive No. We should dive into that. Interesting.
Like, I don't want them to treat the next person the way they should have treated me. You've never felt that way.
So then you're just going to stay with them and keep them miserable?
Pretty much, yeah. I don't know. I will say.
This sounds thought out.
I think it's kind of normal for people to, like, because she did love him. She was attracted to him. I do think there's love there.
Mike, is that normal?
Not at all.
Oh, whatever.
Josh, is that normal? That's a no. Okay. The room is spoken. That's not very normal.
You've never broken up with someone and you're like, I really don't want to be with you, but I really hope you made my life so miserable. I really hope that you're just not very happy. I have broken up with people.
Not where it's like, you know what? I'm going to stay with you because you're not going somewhere else. I'm going to be happier. That's not.
Yeah, not in a vindictive kind of way.
No, I'm not saying with that. No, but I'm saying I did not stay with somebody to make them vindictive.
Don't backtrack now. You are.
Well, no, I have overstayed when I should leave before because I'm like, maybe they will change and I could see good qualities in them, which is also why I think they're probably both staying. But whenever I have broken up with people in the past, if they were not good to me, I really did not wish them well. I was not like, I hope you have a good life. I was like, oh, I hope you have a real bad life and you miss me.
That's fair. Okay.
Yeah, truthful.
Well, maybe that's
not
what they're doing. Maybe they're
but
just going to make each other's life miserable in that house that it's barely.
No,
standing.
I think for them, it's not to make each other's life miserable. I think there is love there. I think there is a lot of pissed offness there with that love. I think it's like, I love you. I'm super attracted to you, but like we're losing our house and we're in a financial wreck because of poor decisions.
I'll tell you what I think.
And I'm mad about that.
I think they thought this would get her back on the show. They needed money. Target suing them for like $2,000, by the way.
So you think they're like, I'm not going to pay my Target Target bill so I can get back on Atlanta?
No. I think they couldn't pay those bills and knew, hey, Mama needs a job again. This is a great way to get back on TV. And then it like wasn't really working. She got like one scene on Atlanta last week and she was fighting for that camera time, but it didn't really go that well. And then that was it. And
which is interesting because you said that was taped very, very recently.
Yes.
But she and Trey was like, I woke up this morning when I was doing my makeup and he was like, watch Atlanta starting at 23-minute mark. So I have Peacock app, so I have to like watch all the minute-long, commercials to get to that 23-minute mark. So after 15 commercials, I finally was at the 23-minute mark. And she really didn't say, at the time, I guess she wasn't even thinking divorce because they said, what's going on with your house? And then she was like, you think I'm going to lose my $1 million house for so many $100,000, which is what I always thought.
I think they filmed that scene about 2 months ago. The divorce was a month ago.
I don't even know where we're at right now. Does she still have the house?
They're still in the house.
Okay, maybe she's able to keep the house.
I don't think we have the Rolls Royce anymore.
But do you really need a Rolls Royce?
No, but
no. That's something you can do without. But so she really didn't say anything about the divorce. She said she talked about the house and then how long they'd been married. And then that's about it. There was no
the point of the
foreshadowing.
Scene,
the only foreshadowing is like, how is the dating life out there? Like, is it good or whatever?
The point of the scene, though, was definitely like for Kim to talk about the house. Like, that was the whole setup, I think, of the whole thing, because they kind of did a big entrance with her. And then she was just like, no, I'm not losing she said, I'm not losing my house over $200,000. But it's like. Yeah,
which I hope she doesn't. But I just felt like there was more and more coming out. So I don't know. I hope, there are a couple that I do think they love each other. I'm not like Mauricio and Kyle attached. I think he seems like a really good guy.
Speaking of, cameras are up in Beverly Hills.
As they
Sandoval
should be.
style.
As they should be.
Yep.
As they should be. I don't know. I think if you're on a show like that, it's part of the territory if everything's happening.
Yeah.
And I'm sure she wants to say stuff that's going on. Like, I would want to speak whatever my truth is. But that is a couple that I'm actually really rooting for.
Oh, absolutely. No, I
Yes.
completely agree.
Yes.
I love them together.
But I do think it's good that because here's the deal. If all of this is going on the news and then you watch the whole season and it's not discussed, I think it frustrates the audience because they think that you're hiding something from them.
Yeah.
So I do think that cameras going back up, especially since they haven't even aired one episode this year of Beverly Hills. They have time to kind of put it in the end. Also, I think it'll really make ratings.
Oh, absolutely.
Good.
Well, so Allison Dubois has a podcast on her same podcast network. Mike, did she do an episode about this?
I haven't heard yet.
What? If she didn't, what a missed opportunity.
Yeah, I agree. I was thinking the same thing. You know, it's so crazy because she's like the first person you think about because she was
You're like,
all over TikTok.
Yep.
Yes. Well, yeah, she does have a podcast, so people listen and let us. I should listen to it. I have nothing to do with my day. I just literally
Besides
sit
track
around.
down her luggage?
Well, you know what? Now I do. I told the person yesterday because they were like, ma'am, because every other day I call them and they're like, ma'am, I'm so sorry for the inconvenience. Please forgive us. And I was like, I'm only going to forgive you if you find my bag. I am done with the forgiveness train. I was like, if you find my bag, I forgive you. If not, I really don't know if I can find forgiveness in my heart. I'm very annoyed. I was like, I have like 25 hours of phone calls into this situation. It's crazy.
Yep.
So yeah, but enough on my bag. I feel like I'm just so bitter. I'm like this bitter troll about this.
That is so, wow. That is so sad.
It's so depressing.
That is so sad.
It's so depressing. But yeah, I feel like that is a missed opportunity if she didn't. But I think Kyla Mauricio, if they do get divorced, I still feel like they're going to work out. But if they do get divorced, I think they're going to be those people that are just really good friends and who put the kids first because they're so family oriented. I think it'll be one of those rare times where you see people that like, you know, do divorce quote unquote the right way, where you love your kids more than you hate your ex.
Yeah, I just don't think she's a scissor sister.
I don't either. I will say if they're filming and she is on there talking about her sister ways, I will be shocked. I do not think that she is.
I don't think she is either. I don't see that.
Here's the deal. I think people just like to make crap up.
Yeah.
They really do. They're like, oh, she has this new friend that's a girl and who is this girl even and who's a lesbian? Yes, because I think the girl's ex since like came out. So she must be. I mean, I have friends that are gay and I'm not gay. I don't know if I could ever be a sister.
Oh. Gosh, I couldn't imagine. But you know what? This is like a reoccurring theme on reality TV right now. Because Chrishell has a girlfriend. Apparently Drew Sidora on Real Housewives of Atlanta was like messed around with the girl, and that's what led to her divorce. That's what's come like later on in the season. So, so it's like a thing. It's in the air right now, I guess.
There is this girl on TikTok, this lesbian on TikTok, and she is like super hot, but in like a masculine way, right? Okay. And I will say I was watching this TikTok that she did, and I was like, oh my gosh, she is attractive, right? And I think girls are pretty, but I'm like, she's attractive like in like hot way. Mm-hmm. And then I was reading all the comments and all the moms were like talking about it. Like, I feel like I need to talk to my husband about this. This is not normal. So I do think there are certain lesbians out there maybe that like girls are, yes. Cause I'm telling you, this girl, I'm going to find her. But she's like just really attractive. So I don't know, maybe like I don't know. I've never had a girl chase after me.
But in no point of you watching this girl's TikToks were you like, I want to rub cooters with her?
No, I was just like, no, but I was like, I did not think like I want to be a scissor. No, never. But I was like, I could see how girls would be attracted to, like, she's a good looking girl. But all these girls were like going, like these married women were like going crazy over this girl. So I do think
maybe
that
there's a new wave of lesbians coming.
I don't know, but I'm like, but it was interesting because it was a lot of these moms that were like, you know, they're like, oh my God, what is it? Like, I am attracted to you. It was very funny. But no, I was never like, I just don't think I have it in me. Like, I think that's just something that, but maybe they just treat them really nice and maybe there's something, I don't know. I've never been hit on by a girl.
Well, I mean, you did say that if like you and Travis didn't work out, you were going to marry Brandy.
Yeah, but that's like for the friendship and the fact that I wouldn't have to sister her. Like we would just live together and have fun and laugh and go on vacations and yes.
Yep.
There was this TikTok that I saw of this single guy and he was like, I'm looking for a husband. He's like this like very like, you know, like masculine guy that was like, I'm looking for a husband. And I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't see this man being gay. And then anyways, at the long run, he wasn't. He was like, I just want somebody to split the bills with me, to have some beer with me, to go fishing, to help me with the yard. And he was like, we don't have to talk about our feelings. Like he went in the whole thing of why he feels like being gay is the thing for him. Like it was so cute.
There's someone I follow on Instagram, and he posts this guy as if he's his boyfriend. But when I've talked to him, he said something like, if we don't find someone by a certain age, we'll just get married. I'll just marry my best friend, which is so-and-so. But the way they post, I'm like, are y'all not in a relationship? And I almost think they are just in like a best friendship where they like do life together.
Yeah.
And I'm like halfway convinced that they might get married.
Well, I mean,
which is so interesting.
I would probably, if I did not have somebody and I wanted just a life partner, I'd probably marry you.
Oh, thank you.
I would. I mean, I know that you would never make out with me or anything.
Nope.
That would be super fine. Mm-hmm. But I think it could be kind of the best of both worlds. We can make out with whoever we want, and then we could just buy a house together.
Perfect.
No jealousy. We go shopping together. It'd be great. I mean, you, Brandy. There's some people.
So it's like what we do now. We just live together.
Yeah, we would just live together.
Okay. That's interesting.
And like you always have somebody to go to weddings with. You always have somebody, I think there are people that just want companionship.
Yeah.
Like, have you ever seen like older, like cousins or sisters who like end up living together when they get older? I think it's more for the companionship. Like nobody wants, some people do. I love being by myself, but like not all the time. Like I think some people just want companionship.
You know what? There's another guy I follow on Instagram, and I know he's gay because I see him at my bar all the time, and like he's making out with other dudes. But he has a kid, and then there was a girl in his photos forever, and I'm like, is that his wife? Come to find out, it's actually his wife is actually a lesbian, and they just like had a kid together and like do life together, but they have like separate relationships.
Yeah, I think
which seems way cheaper than surrogacy.
Yeah. See if you find a girl that wants to have a baby with you, and like you guys can like.
I'll go the surrogacy route.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. But no, but I don't think. If Kyle is with this Morgan girl, I think it's just something people made up and ran with. I think people are like, oh, they have matching tattoos. They
but
hang out a lot.
She hasn't fully like said we're not dating. She hasn't like totally cleared it up.
Yeah, but don't you think it's? I don't know. I feel like maybe there are reasons. Maybe she's like it's a cliffhanger for the show. I would have cleared it up by now. I'd have been like, okay, I'm not dating this girl. Like we are friends. I personally would have cleared it up by now, but maybe she doesn't care enough, and maybe she's like,
I think
I'll just let people
cares.
run with this.
Because like Page 6 posted something, and she was like, this picture was taken in April, and like of like her and Morgan walking the street, and they were like spotted this past weekend, and she was like, no, it wasn't.
Oh, and she was like hiding her face.
Yes.
Oh
yes.
yeah. I saw that.
So
I saw that.
So she hasn't like fully cleared it up. I don't think she likes the negative attention. But I don't think she's fully going to give up the attention either. You know what I mean? Because like Buying Beverly Hills season 2 is coming out in like a few weeks, and then Real House of Beverly Hills is coming out in the fall. So it's like, keep it going a little bit. I would do the same thing. I'd be like, I'm not going to say no, but I'm going to say yes.
Ooh. Okay, let me ask you this. Do you think it's easier for girls to? Do you think it's more likely for girls to go to the other side than boys? Like guys. Is it hard to turn a straight man?
Well, I think once you put a wiener in your mouth, there's really no going back from that. Like, you don't just be like, okay, did that once. Nah, that's a pretty harsh move. That's kind of Full Sail.
So yes, you do think.
Well, and girls are like, what is it? They're like more emotional. Guys are more physical.
Like,
so I feel like if you put a wiener in your mouth, you probably liked it.
That's very true. Girls are more emotional.
Yeah. If you're with a girl, maybe you just felt more of an emotional connection there.
Yeah, I do. I do think that's what it is. I think that's what a lot of the, like even Chriselle and all that, I think it started with like an emotional, like,
it was an emotional connection.
Yeah.
I had a friend a few years ago. I'm trying to think of how to be more specific. And her husband told me, He was like, yeah, I've like, messed around with a few guys. And I was like, explain. What do you mean you messed around with a few guys? And he was like, yeah, I've like, put a wiener in my mouth. And, and I
he
was
did
like,
not say I put a wiener in my
what?
mouth.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. He was like, in college, like, like a handful of times. I was like, what's a handful of times? He was like, when I was like in a frat house. I was like, no, wait, explain. Way further. Guess what? 5 years later, they're divorced. Somehow she's a lesbian. I don't know how that happened. And he's gay.
Oh my, well, yeah, I will say.
And I was like, this doesn't feel right. I told her, I was like, are we sure?
What did she say? She was like, absolutely.
She was like, no, he's just like, goes with whatever. And I was like, but are you sure you should marry him?
She's like, he just likes hot dogs.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Sure enough.
And they lasted 5 years.
They did.
I think it would be hard for me to be with a man who is like, yes, I've had wieners in my mouth from,
And he spoke very highly of
there.
it too. He was talked like it was an enjoyable experience.
Really?
Yep.
Okay. Well, there you go. There you go.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't know. It's interesting. But again, if we're putting money on it, I bet my money is that her and this Morgan girl are like soul sisters and best friends. And they just like, girls do stuff like that. Girls go get matching tattoos. Girls go get like rings that match. Girls do,
Yeah.
Girls,
that's true.
Girls are like touchy with their friends,
Yeah.
No, we don't. We're not scissor touchy, but we are like, like touchy, like normal. Like I'm not like, Brandy, come, bring that vagina over here. Let's rub him.
Oh my gosh. That's exciting.
Never.
Huh.
No, but I think, Anyways, I don't think she is. Okay, so do you?
Do I
if
what?
If you're betting with this Morgan girl, what do you think?
Do I think they're together? No.
Yeah, I don't either. I don't either.
I
don't think anybody really
are,
does.
Great. I just don't think they are.
Yes,
I just
agree.
don't see that. I don't know. I don't see that.
I agree. I completely agree.
No.
But I hope that. But I do think this lady, her music career, people probably like downloading her music right now. I think
she has
it's
some
very
great
good.
songs.
Yeah, so I do think that's good for her.
She's out performing, so she couldn't even be with Kyla if she wanted to. So it's like a whole thing. This podcast is brought to you by BetterHelp.
I feel like divorce is one of the hardest things. I have not been divorced. My parents have been divorced, which I know I've talked to you guys about before. But it was honestly the hardest thing in the world to go through for my parents. But also now when my friends go divorced, I always feel for their children. Like I'm always like, because I know how it feels to be a child of a divorced family. My parents were only divorced for 3 years. The reason they were only divorced for 3 years is because our entire family went to therapy. They fell back in love. They worked on their issues. They have such a healthy marriage now, where before, when I was younger, they did not. Like they fought a lot. It was very chaotic in my household. And my mom always apologizes to me. She's like, I'm so sorry we got divorced. And I was like, no, I am so grateful, because I think if you didn't, you and Dad would have stayed with these same really toxic patterns. My sister and I would have stayed in that relationship thinking that's how it was supposed to be in life. And we would have been very different people, and my standards would have been much lower than they are today.
And sometimes you can't accurately communicate to your partner when you're fighting what you need to say. And so that's why a therapist is good to step in and be that third party intermediary, or you just have someone else to bounce ideas off of and talk to and figure out life with.
Yeah, that's very true. That is very true. I feel like with Travis and I, we have gone to therapy for most of our marriage off and on, and we fight very differently. Like I think he's now really good about saying how he feels, but I get very defensive.
You don't feel that way.
I'm like, how could you? And I feel like I have to make excuses. So for me, I'm really working lately on not making excuses and just taking in what he says. Just very difficult. I'm still working. I'm a work in progress, but therapy it is such a great tool, I think, for yourself individually, but also as a couple.
If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. You just fill out a brief questionnaire and get matched with a licensed therapist, and you can switch therapists at any time for no additional charge.
Let therapy be your map with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/weeklydose today to get 10% off of your first month. Again, that's BetterHelp, HELP.com/weeklydose. Okay, did you see this thing? Okay, there's this TikTok trend where people are like jumping out of I think it's like called the boat challenge. People are jumping out of the boat, like from what I gather, like flip-flopping backwards off the back of boats.
No, that's how you die.
And people are dying. They have all these people dying, breaking their necks, flipping backwards off these boats. I think the other day, I think it was on People, they had like 3 or 4 people that like are missing from doing this. But it's like, 9? Yeah. Oh, he said or 9? 4. Oh, I thought you said or 9. It was 4. Yes. Flipping off the back of these boats. And yes, isn't that crazy?
No, when we were in Mexico for my wedding and we were on the bachelor party, people were like jumping off the yacht and they were like, jump off. I was like, no, why would I do that? When I can just climb down. Why would I want to jump off this perfectly good boat? No, thank you.
No, I'm the same. And it was setting still. I am the same.
Yeah.
I don't jump off cliffs. I don't jump off rocks. I've jumped off a boat once. It was like the middle level because I'm too chicken. First of all, I don't like heights. I don't even like the Titan at the,
Six Flags.
I'm not a
Not
big
the
roller
submersible.
coaster. But yeah, I'm the same.
Yeah, no, I don't. No, that's okay.
But also, people risking their life for a TikTok trend is crazy.
Even if I was on a boat and it was like headed towards rocks at full speed ahead, I'd probably wait until we were like just about to hit until I was like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say it's like scary having a kid because of the things that they do for like
for a TikTok video.
Well, like for social media, like you have people like I said, flipping off the back of a boat. You have that one kid that was graduating that jumps in like in the middle of the night into the ocean and like I don't know if he got eaten by a shark or not, but there was like some big thing and he's like disappeared.
Oh.
So you have people that just make really, really dumb decisions for a 30-second video. It's crazy.
Yeah, at my grocery store, the one closest to my house, they still lock up Tide Pods because idiots were eating those for a while.
Yeah. I mean, it's
I have
like
to go request them at the front. It's weird.
Wait, my grocery store does not.
I'm going to go to your grocery store now. You know what? There's a lot of homeless people though in my grocery store too, and I feel like that's why they lock them up because I think they just like pop those like Advil.
Tide Pods? What did they do for you?
I have no idea. Not a clue. Never eaten one.
That is so strange.
If I find someone that has, I will ask them.
Yes, if you've eaten a Tide Pod, please let us know.
It can't taste good.
Message us immediately.
No.
Okay, so I don't know if you've watched this, but Crappie Lake just came out.
Everyone
Did you
loves
watch it? It's really cute. It's easy to watch. It's very much like the Sumpa life. I would like to say Brady and I gave them this idea like season 2 of Housewives.
Do you watch it and feel robbed?
Season 2, a little bit. But you know what? I actually feel happy that they have something that I think is lighthearted and good on Bravo. I think it's like a breath of fresh air.
I agree.
I think it's funny. If you've not watched it, it's like super easy to watch. It's 30 minutes. It kind of reminds me of like Sweet Home Oklahoma back in, that show back in the day. That was like that. I think they got like 2 seasons, but it was really cute. It was a good show and it was very lighthearted and an easy watch. And this one's the same. It's just, it's really funny. I think those two together are great. Like Sonia had liposuction right before going in and she talks about it the whole time and she like pops a stitch. That's got to be painful.
I feel like people really enjoy this New York nostalgia and they put it out right before New York's coming out this Sunday.
Probably on purpose because they know people are upset about
that the cast is all changed. And I think Bravo's a little like, is this going to work? Like, they're also on the edge of their seats.
I'm on the edge of my seat. I was asking Trey on the way here because we ride together. I'm like, what do you think is going to happen with New York, the new cast? Do you think it's going to like explode and be amazing, or do you think people are not going to watch it? Like,
so this is one of the 3 that Bravo has announced that they're housewives before they started filming. So they announced Beverly Hills for Housewives, Salt Lake City, and then now this one. Now, if you remember Salt Lake City, they recorded for a whole year and then scrapped it and redid it.
Okay.
I feel like because they were like, this has to be good. Like we've already named it. It's already like there's a bunch of press around it. So I think they're going to do the same thing with this one. It has to be good. Like they're not going to put out something that's like, well, eh.
I mean,
but will people rally around it? I don't know. It could be a great show and no one could be interested because it's not Ramona.
But also I think it's, I think you can say it has to be good, but it's also about the chemistry of the cast. And if the cast doesn't have chemistry and they're not friends and if they're not believable,
right,
then that's where it tends to go bad. So I'm interested. I'm going to be honest with you guys. Am I going to watch it? Not unless everyone's saying it's really, really good. Like I did not watch Crappie Lake, even though I really wanted to, until like I had an enough people say this is like our new favorite show, and I was like, okay, I'm in it. I mean, I watched Atlanta for 5 minutes because Trey told me to. So I'm a follower. So I'm going to have you watch it.
I think the show's going to be good, but I think will people I think it's going to be more relatable. Are we looking for relatable? No, we're looking for Ramona to throw a fit. But so I think that's going to be
a very young cast.
That's going to be the thing is like, are people interested in becoming invested in characters all over again?
Yeah.
Maybe, maybe not.
You know, the only one that I'm really invested in as somebody who's not in the franchise is the girl with the glasses, Jenna. Is her name Jenna?
Yes.
What is the girl that was...
She was like head of J. Crew for a while.
Like, she's really without me knowing anything about them, she was the only one that I'm like, oh, I'm interested in her. I feel like she's going to have an interesting story. I think she's had an interesting life. But I don't know the other ladies. I really have not done my homework. But I'm interested to see how it does because whenever they post things, the Bravo audience is very torn. People are like so mad about not having the originals or anybody who is an original that they're saying they're not going to watch it. And then there's some people that are like, just, I'm going to give it a chance. But it's hard to cast really, really good shows.
Yeah.
At some point, I think that's the one that Lizzie was in and then she backed out, right?
Yes.
But they still have a pretty big, do they have 6 girls?
Yeah, 6 or 7. It's a lot.
Yeah. So they still have a big cast.
It's a lot. Yeah.
I think also if there's only 5 people, it's tough because it's just not enough to really propel a cast forward. I think you have to have 6.
I agree.
I really do.
I'll watch it. I'll let you know how the first episode goes. I feel like you got to get through like 1 through 3, and then you can really make a decision on whether this is going to be good or not. But I'll devote my weeks to it.
Okay, you devote your weeks because I have better things to do.
She has to fight an airline.
I am like fighting for my clothes right
Her
now.
life over here.
My life, yes, that's my goal.
Zach and I have found ourselves throwing more dinner parties lately, and I am terrible about finding a recipe to cook for a dinner party. And it's usually like us and just a couple other friends. But recently, I have been relying on HelloFresh to wow our guests, and I've knocked it out of the park lately, let me just tell you.
Oh, because they have the best recipes and they're so
best.
easy. Yes, they are so easy. I love HelloFresh. For me, I have like the same like 5 to 7 recipes that my mom taught me that I cook over and over and over again. And then my family starts complaining. So for me, I love HelloFresh because it gives me a variety for my family so they leave me alone about how I make the same thing over again. Do you pick your meals or do you let them pick them for you?
I have never picked. I always let them pick what they want to send me, and they never disappoint. Because I feel like sometimes if I'm picking, I'm going to gravitate towards things that obviously I wouldn't normally eat. But they'll send me stuff that I'm like, oh, I don't know about this, and I try it, and I love it.
I always pick mine. I'm that person that likes to like pick whatever I'm eating. Yes.
No, I got these chicken shawarma lettuce wraps last week, and I was like, I don't know about this. Made it amazing. I kept the recipe card because I was like, I have to remake these. These are so good.
Well, that's another thing. If you keep the cards, like it's right there for you so you can continue. Anything that I love that I'm like, okay, this is like my favorite, I keep and then I make it for my family. They have such a variety. They offer 40 recipes to choose from every single week. So you never get bored and you can always get something new to try and love.
And every recipe features high-quality proteins, fresh produce, and plans for many lifestyles. It's no wonder why HelloFresh is America's #1 meal kit.
Go to HelloFresh.com/weeklydose50 and use code weeklydose50 for 50% off plus free shipping.
That's a great deal.
I mean, that's crazy. Again, go to HelloFresh.com/weeklydose50 and use code weeklydose50 for 50% off plus free shipping.
HelloFresh, America's #1 meal kit.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, I have an exciting announcement.
What?
Speaking of Mauricio, I am officially an agent with the agency.
Ooh.
I know, in
Trey,
Dallas.
Then you need to know all of
That's
the
what my
details.
shirt says, no assholes. You know what? I went to the office for my office tour the day after that news broke, and I was just like, seeing if anyone was going to say anything about it. They didn't.
Man. Dang it, you work with professionals.
I know. But so I went to this office, and I was like, I couldn't understand. Well, I feel like I have PTSD because whenever I opened my bar in Dallas, I thought like the community was going to be like so accepting and excited for a new bar. And no, it was vicious. It was awful. And then I went to open Denver, and that was like I was dealing with a puppy dog compared to the beast that was. Like, it was a nightmare of like, everyone wants to try to take you down. So I went to this office and I was like, all right, who's going to run me over with a bus first? And I was shocked at how nice everyone was.
See,
I was
that's
like in there
good.
looking for like, who do I got to watch for? Everyone was so nice. I was shocked, which is very different because I went into like my last 2 business ventures like thinking like, this is going to be amazing. And then it was awful.
But was it the community
Yes,
in Dallas?
it was the people. Well,
Or was it the
no.
business owners?
It was
that
the business
were...
owners. In Dallas, it was the business owners. In Denver, it was everyone.
Oh, that's crazy.
So this one, I was like, game on, baby, like guard up. But everyone has been so nice. And I've heard like horror stories that like realtors are bitches, but everyone's like very kind. I was like,
I feel like
that's weird.
I know so many people who are realtors and they've all said it's a very, amazing community. I mean, I think you kind of have to get along with everybody because nobody will
You
want to do
have to have
business
a good
with you.
personality.
Yeah, you have to have a good, and you have to be fair.
Yes.
And you have to,
Yep.
like I think it's a pretty nice community from what I've
Yeah.
heard. But it's different than a bar because you have to realize whenever you're a business owner and there's like, you're looked at as a big competitor coming in to take all their drunks away from them.
Well, but that's kind of, every realtor is independent. So it's like every man for themselves, kind of the same thing like the bar was.
Yeah,
but
but also you want people to work with you. I
Yeah.
think you have to play nice in real estate where you really don't in the bar business. And the bar business is very cutthroat. It is. Travis was a small owner in O Bar back in the day when it was the hot bar and we started dating. And he owned a very small percentage, so he didn't care. He just liked that he got to sit in VIP and get free drinks. That's, I think, the only reason he gave them money, to be honest. But it's like I think you're lucky that you're in the area you're in because most bars are hot for a few years and they die. And then there's a new, bigger and better bar coming. Like I remember living in Tulsa, there was this bar called Suede. If anyone listening in Tulsa, I know you know what it was back in the day. Now it's like probably 15 names later. But like every 2 to 3 years.
It's the new El Chico.
Yeah, it's like the new El Chico. Yeah. But every 2 to 3 years, they had to completely like redo the bar and give it a new name.
Yeah.
It was the same owners, but because it would get stale and people wouldn't come and it wasn't, so they always were having to like reinvent it and throw money at it to make it big again.
Yeah.
That because people get so bored. And especially at that age, like where people are going out all the time, like the mid to early 20s, like I feel like we're just a lot of ADD people at that time. And you always are looking for like the new cool thing.
Absolutely.
So, yes.
Well, if you're looking for a house, let me know. I feel like my biggest problem is going to be every house I've seen. I'm like, I love this. I want this. And I'm going to be like, no, Trey, we're not buying every home we see.
If you were looking for a house, I have the house for you. My old house, the house that I got married in, the house that I raised my 2 children in until I had 2 toddlers and realized that the road's a little too dangerous.
Too
a little too busy for them. Is for sale. It's on Avondale.
Gorgeous.
It is so adorable. It's like 20-something hundred square feet. It's not too big.
It's been owned by 2 gay couples, so it's gorgeous.
Yes, and they like totally like it's the best pool if you have a child. I feel like I'm gonna sell this. Yeah, he did. And the garage apartment behind it. We did not have a garage there. We built the little garage behind it. It's super, super cute. And that little room off to the side. We have to go look at it, Trey.
Stephanie's
I'm like really
it.
trying to have Trey buy it. I'm like, this is the perfect house for you. But get on Zillow. It's a house on Avondale. You will see it. It looks like a little gingerbread house.
Yep.
Whoever owns this house, you're very welcome, by the way. I'm selling this for you. But it brings me back so many good memories. It was the best house.
Well, let's go tour it.
I know. That's my goal.
Okay, we'll do that
I
this
want to
week.
tour it. Yes, I really do. It's like such a good house. Okay, well, next week I'll let you know what happened to my luggage. In the meantime, thank you guys so much for listening and supporting. You can follow me at Steph Holman on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and what's that new thing they have coming out? The Threads.
follow her
I'm
on
on
Threads.
it. I don't know how much I'm going to be on, but I'm going to try it.
Yep. You can follow me at Trey_Stewart. You can follow our podcast at BS the Podcast, or you can watch us on YouTube at Weekly Dose of BS.
Bye.
Bye.